What's up, y'all? This was a very good episode, man. I really enjoyed it. Welcome new and returning YouTubers and YouTube world tribe members. All of you guys alike. Welcome to this channel. We got what we got here is a late, but review for Monday Night Raw. I always gotta tap the title. Yeah, it was. This was a very good episode, interesting but and good at the same time because I think what I'm gonna start off with. I found out before I did this video that Keith Lee, he worked a match like before the show started, and now they calling him Keith Bearcat Lee. That's a weird name. But yeah, so the actual show starts off with I think it was like they did like a recap of what happened last week. They did like a little recap video package. I think showing like Biggie, what happened, what led to Biggie winning the title and all that type of stuff. But then the actual segment that started the Monday Night Raw was I call it the Biggie / New Day promo because it was Biggie and New Day, and as we knew coming into this from the episode from announced on SmackDown that there was going to be a big, 6-man tag match with the New Day versus the Bloodline, the Usos, and Roman Reigns. So Biggie and New Day come out. Biggie gets now that he's on Raw after the tournament, he gets to do his old New Day intro, and then he comes out basically saying, "I know it's not November, but I want to give out some thanks. I'm feeling very thankful." And then I think he said he's thankful for, everybody who believed in him, the people who went crazy when he won the title, and he's thankful for his New Day brethren and all that good jazz. But he kept it short and sweet. He said, "But we don't got time to celebrate because we got business to handle." He said the business comes in the form of the Usos, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. And this would bring out Roman Reigns and the Usos, who basically, do their little intro, and then they get in the ring and they start arguing, basically try to basically telling us. I think like Roman was basically telling Big E that that his championship was the only championship that matters, and Big E was like, "Oh yeah, we about to find out, we about to see." And when we come back from commercial break, this will be the actual first match of the night, which would be Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the New Day. This match was very good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this match. This was once again, this was a nice, decent way to start off Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I had no problem with it. It was good back and forth. Roman Reigns knows how to tell that good back and forth, almost pinning him type story. Excuse me. Um, yeah, the match was decent. I mean, it went back and forth. Everybody got their licks in. Everybody got their good moves in. Um, the one thing that what I said the thing is this match the thing I didn't like about this match is actually tied to the main event, which I'll get to later, but. And it wasn't even about the match itself. It was just about the direction of how the night went. But yeah, so the Bobby Lashley would run out and he would just decimate everybody. He before I did this. Yeah, this is why the match was still going. He ran out and he decimated everybody who basically was attached to the match. I think it was like Xavier Woods and Roman, who was the legal man. So he decimated Biggie, Kofi, the Usos, and then because of the distraction from what Bobby Lashley was doing, Xavier got distracted and he turned around and then he got speared by by Roman, and he would get pinned, making the Usos and Roman Reigns the winner. But then his celebration was cut short because he turned around and got speared by Bobby Lashley himself, showing that this whole end segment was to show that Bobby Lashley wasn't here just to beat up. As you saw, he wasn't just here to beat up on the New Day. He beat up on the Usos. He wanted to beat up on everybody to show his dominance. And before we get to the next match, there was a backstage segment where Bobby Lashley basically went in there and ran his mouth off about how the injustice of being cashed in on. Somebody calling the pot, that's calling, and that's the kettle calling the pot black. You know, I think I might have messed that up, but yeah, it was like basically like how can you get mad that somebody cashed in on you, you know, where you help somebody else cash in to get the title. You know, it's like you can't get mad that somebody cashed in on you. You kind of had that coming. But yeah, he was basically complaining to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville about how things went last week and how upset he was about it, and that and basically he was alluding to that he said the Almighty Era doesn't never stop, and he basically was alluding to I guess he was getting loose into that he wanted a match, and then we will get the second match, which is Eva Marie versus Doudrop. This match was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay. You know, it was typically what you thought. Eva Marie running her mouth, you know, degrading Doudrop, and then end up getting her butt beat and pinned. You know, your winner would be Doudrop in this case. I think this was like match number 3 for them, or maybe match number 2. Because I think the first match never really officially started. So yeah, I think this was match 2 that of official from bell to bell match. We would get the third. We would get the third match. We get another match. This next match was Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. This match was actually good. This was a very good match. I love when Randy Orton and AJ Styles, because they could put on a great, compelling match. You did have the usual antics of Omos running outside and Matt Riddle doing what he could. There was also was a backstage segment, I think, before the match, where Matt Riddle basically they had some headphones, like it was Beats, and they basically was Riddle just running his mouth about different things, and it was very funny. But yeah, the match was very good. You know, I enjoyed it. I have no complaints about it. But the winner of the match was Randy Orton. Yeah, Randy Orton beat AJ Styles. I'm trying to remember if he did or not. I think we would get a Nia Jax match. The next match would be Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler. This was a I won't say very good, but this was a good match because it told the story of two tag team partners. While we saw a new tag team in the form of Rhea Ripley and, you know, a new formation of Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash. We got this explosion of two tag teams now facing each other and one-on-one because they kept messing each other up. So this match was a good match. I think the winner would be Shayna Baszler via submission. Yeah, she won via submission. But the true story came in the aftermath. Shayna basically started going in on Nia and beating her. But I guess the thing was she was conflicted about it because she looked like she did want to do it. and that even when Nia begged her not to do it, I think like the first thing she did was like kick her out the ring, and then she like put her hands in the steps and like stomped on her arm, and then she was about to do it again on top of the steel steps, but Nia was begging her not to, and she was like conflicted whether she wanted to do it. And at one point, like she didn't, well, she wasn't going to do it, but she couldn't stop herself, so she ended up doing it anyway. And even afterwards, she felt bad because the hearing Nia scream and stuff made her feel bad. But yeah, I like what they try to tell, and I hope this leads. The reason why I'm giving a leeway with this match because I hope it leads to Shayna, if not both Nia and Shayna, it leads Shayna back into the main title picture. We'll see once maybe the draft or after this Sunday's Extreme Rules. Was that it? Yep. So we move on. There was another backstage segment, this time with Biggie. And basically these backstage segments involve like, it's always that I'm talking about specifically is like basically Adam Pearce and them are in to paint the picture. So if y'all haven't watched the episode, to paint the picture, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville in their office, either talking to each other on the phone, trying to get a handle on what happened at the end of the first match, with Bobby Lash destroying everybody, and each different person. Remember how I said Bobby Lashley was the first one, and basically every time somebody interrupted them, they always on their phone trying to get a handle on something. Somebody's always busting into their room abruptly, just yelling at them. They always got to go. Oh, hold on, I gotta call you back, because they always getting yelled at by somebody. First it was Bobby Lashley, and then this time it was Big E. Big E busts in there. He goes, hey, and they like, oh God, here we go again. So we gotta hang up the phone. We call you back, and he said, I want Bobby Lashley and I want Roman Reigns. He was like, make it happen, and they just like, oh God, like we just keep getting yelled at, we just got yelled at from Bobby Lashley. Now we getting yelled at from Big E, and then I'm gonna get to the last one because I think the last one was Paul Heyman, and but the next match would be Mustafa Ali and Mansoor versus a new pairing of tag team, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Which, if just for the fact that it was Humberto Carrillo, Angel Garza, and not T-Bar and Mace, this match was actually a good match. I said at first, I got here in my notes that I put it as an okay match, but it was really a good match because I enjoyed what they was going with Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. I think this is like basically officially making Humberto a heel, and they saying that Humberto, now I don't know if it's true. Let me know in the comments down below if it is, but I don't know if it's true or not, if Humberto and Angel are really cousins in real life, but that's what they saying within the story, that they are cousins and that they have this new passion as these handsome tag teams, whatever they call themselves. But they came out and they dominated. And even after the match, they beat the holy hell on Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. But yeah, they were also the winners of the match, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. But yeah, after the match, they beat the holy hell out of Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. So I'm very curious to see where they go with Humberto and Angel Garza. So before this next match, like I said, the last of the promos was the backstage promo with they don't keep busting into the office was Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman basically busted into the office too, just like everybody else. But he didn't start, unlike Bobby Lashley and Biggie before him. He didn't start off yelling. He was just like he gradually got into it, saying like how they got they manhood and authority basically degraded and stripped from them because they allowed Big E and Biggie and Biggie and Bobby Lashley to basically degrade them and yell at them, and he said and complain and moan, and he used a curse word that won't be using here because of demonetization and other factors. But he said you let them and moan and complain and moan and complain. And he was like, Adam's like, hey, this time they finally had enough of it. Adam Pearce like, hey, Adam Pearce and Sonya like, hey, we get it. You listen to me, because we've been hearing it from all sides, and we get it. We know what you're trying to do. You're not going to come in here and do the same thing, because we've been hearing it all day from all sides. Everybody just keep busting in here and yelling at us, and we get it. So this is what we're going to do. Since basically nobody got it out of their system from earlier, everybody still want to fight, we're going to give you a match. It's going to be a triple threat match. The main event will be a triple threat match between, they were saying like a first time ever. Okay, I think they said this was like the first time ever, and maybe only time we'll see this. Biggie versus Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns. And Paul Heyman was like, they told Paul Heyman, "Now you could go back and tell Roman that," and he was like, "I will, thank you." And then he walked away. But yeah, then we will get the next match, which is Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash versus Natalya and Tamina for the women's tag team championships. They had a little moment before the match where they were talking about the Connor cure for cancer program that WWE got going on, and it looked like they got a little emotional. And it's probably because they were just, the sad reality and thinking about what the kids got to go through. It looked like, but even for Rhea, like uncharacteristically for Rhea, like she wanted to cry. But it was nice to see that they, to see them come, break character for a minute and talk about something very serious. But then we will move on to the match, which was it was an okay tag team match. I knew that Natalya and Tamina's time as I was about to say SmackDown as women's tag team champions was coming to an end, but I just didn't expect it to come to an end like that. Well, not like that, but at the hands of Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash, because they wasn't the only team that beat Natalya and Tamina. Natalya and Tamina been on a major losing streak because they lost like 2 or 3 times to Sansi Blackheart and Tegan Knox, and they lost like 2 to 3 times to Rhea Ripley and Nikki. So it's like you lost this many times, and Rhea and Nikki, I felt like Rhea and Nikki jumped the line because technically Tegan Knox and Sansi Blackheart were supposed to get that match. They should have got that match because they was the ones beating them. They even beat them. They beat them in the championship contenders match. So they earned a shot at the titles, but they still didn't get it. I don't know. Yeah. So the match was, but other than that, the match was good. It was okay. I enjoyed it. But yeah, you got your new women's tag team champions Rhea and Nikki Ash. We had a really good match between Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, where if Jeff Hardy won the match, he would get added to the Intercontinental United States Championship match at Extreme Rules. I think it was based off of what happened last week with them. So they wanted thanks to Sheamus' interference of what he did last week. If Sheamus was to lose, like I said, he loses this match to Jeff. Jeff gets added to this. Oh, I forgot. But since I started, yeah. So this match was good. Jeff and Sheamus know how to put on a good match. They always do. But yeah, the match in itself was good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad match. It was good. Jeff Hardy would hit the. I think he hit. I think Jeff Hardy like hit a twist of fate and went for the Swanton bomb. But Sheamus would get like his knees up and right when Sheamus looked like he was getting ready to go for the Clover Leaf submission, Jeff Hardy would reverse it, or he was going. It like he was either going for the Clover Leaf or he was going for something. I forgot what it was, but he was going for a move, and Jeff Hardy rolled him up and got the win and got the pin, adding Jeff Hardy to the United States Championship match. So now at Extreme Rules, instead of being Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the United States Championship, it's now going to add. They're now going to add Jeff Hardy to the mix as a triple threat match. Sheamus basically got mad and argued with Damian Priest about letting him about that this was his fault because he let this happen. He said he shouldn't have to face Damian Priest for the in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. It should be just them two. Then they were brawl and end up having to get separated. Sheamus also took off his protective covering, and he also got busted open. Like it was like a forearm move that connected for real with Sheamus. With Jeff Hardy did like a forearm to him and busted him open because he was bleeding. I think he was bleeding from his nose, and when he was laying on his back, it kind of like dripped to the side of his face too. Like since he was laying on his back looking up, it kind of dripped backwards this way. So now it was like going up his face, like on the side of his nose, going up towards his eyes. But yeah, he got busted open. But Jeff Hardy still won your match. But before this, I meant to say was Alexa Bliss playground promo where she invited Charlotte on, and this was by far the best promo of the night. Where basically Alexa Bliss and Charlotte got into an argument about. I think like Charlotte basically was saying like Alexa used to be a competitor. She used to be a champion. Now she changed that. She said she used to walk around with with championships on her shoulders, and but now she plays with dolls, and saying that at Extreme Rules she's going to have to beat the sense back into Alexa Bliss, and that. She said instead, she even pointed how instead of getting the goddess Alexa Bliss, the Alexa Bliss of old, she's gonna get a grown ass woman wearing dressed like a kid. No, I just used a cuss word there. But yeah, then like they start arguing about different stuff. I think Alexa was like, started saying like, "What are you without the championship, without the titles, without the Raw Women's Championship? What are you?" And I think you're afraid like, what would you do? What would you say to these people if you didn't have the title? And the crowd started chanting "woo," and she was like, "There you go. That's what I would do." And she said, she was like, that's not even yours. That's not even yours. That's not even yours originally." And she was like, and Charlotte, she was like, "Oh, that's not talk about originality." And she looked at her. She basically looked at her and the surroundings. Was like, yeah, that's not getting into that. I was like, "Oh, Alexa, you walked into that one. You walked into that one." Because like you can't talk about originality and all that type of stuff. But yeah, that promo was good. I enjoyed it. They was really a good promo. But we get to the main event, which is Biggie versus Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lash. This match was good. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of back and forth. A lot of good things happened. It was one hell of a main event. It was good. It was good. The only thing I have a problem with was that the winner of this match was again Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns won the first match of the night, and he would win the last match of the night. And I get it, they want to oversell that Roman Reigns like this guy that basically doesn't lose, but I really hope he would have lost and we would have got a different winner. But it is what it is. That's all I got. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my wrestling reviews. And if you enjoy and want to support the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification button so you get notified when I drop videos. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But don't go nowhere. I got more coming. Peace.